big chunk.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Ready for that? You see that?
Right there is good.
I mean, they both have.
First night, no sleep. Second night, maybe 2 30-minute naps. Last night, maybe 2 hours total. It's been hard. That's the hardest part. But every challenge is an adrenaline rush. But man, the no sleep. I just thought it would be hard to get to sleep. I didn't know that there would be no sleep possible. What did I make of last night's tribal? That was amazing. That was like fireworks going off at tribal, and you're just like, oh, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? Oh my gosh, a big one. That was crazy. I was, of course, rooting for the underdogs. Adam, Kathy, Laura. The other 5 are all from the blue tribe, and you could tell they're a unit. You could tell that Jack's running the show. You could tell that Desiree was getting frustrated. We saw Jack pull aside Adam after the idol reveal to convince him not to play the idol, and it apparently worked.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy because we knew that the 5 blue were gonna stay strong. That was just our immediate, it's like, I don't even know if this tribal council is worth sitting in on. But the craziness that ensued was just Jack convincing Adam to not play the idol. We would have had no idea that happened. And you could tell he was looking at us like, we know, Jack, we know what you just did. You're clever. So, and I knew that all along. I could have told you that night 1, that he was gonna be a good talker.
That was insane. So first off, we have Greg over there that's just pulling the Keith, like, stick to the plan, everyone. And then we have Adam, who's whipping out an idol, all this talking, and then we had to give Laura the advantage because, like, I can't give it to one of my blue people, or otherwise I will look suspicious. And so it was insane. I mean, right now, because blue has talked about, like, what is the majority going to do, and they're just going to take out Kathy and Laura right away. So they're not going to have to fight each other unless we need to. So we think that there's going to be probably 3 more like immunities before we merge, 3 or 4 or 5. So. All right, Tocho, got to take back immunity. Immunity back up for grabs.
Our first challenge today is called hanging around. Tocho, you have one extra member. One of you is going to need to sit this out. You'll decide who is going to be on the swing. The other 6 of you will be manning the ropes. You're going to need to swing your person on the swing to the succession of numbers, 1 through 12, in order. So you'll swing them out. They'll reach down, pick up the number 1. You'll swing them over to the log. There's holes drilled in the logs. You're going to put 1 to 12 in the logs, left to right. The numbers have to be in order.
Do you mean the person on the thing has to pick it up from the ground? Or like the rope holder?
The person on the swing is the only person
that touches
them. Touching the flag anytime. We're going to let you have the opportunity to swap out the person on the swing one time before you get a flag. If you're out there and you put the wrong person on there and you realize, hey, I can't reach any of these, you can swap them out. So 1 free switch before you get a flag. If you switch anytime after that, you got to put the last one back, switch, and then continue from there. Any other questions? Tocho, decide who's sitting out.
I would face the other way.
Are you guys ready?
Humans are wrong.
We need to switch because his hands need to be
So you can see it.
Yes.
Survivors ready.
Yeah, we have to put it away.
Go!
Pass it through.
So then I'm going to...
Oh God.
Kathy reaching. She's got number 1 for Beezy. Evan's got the 1 for Tocho.
Left side, Kat.
Tocho's got
Where's 2?
Two's back.
It's all the way over there. Kathy reaching. She's got number 1 for Beezy.
It's this one right by me.
3 of you let go, and I'll hold the rope.
Be careful. Okay.
All right. Back up.
That way. Go Jill's way. Jill's way.
Watch the flags.
Sorry.
Tocho headed back with their second number.
Watch the flag.
Maria, you gotta go through.
Go. Wait. I can't. All right, go.
They got it.
It's over there, back there.
Easy back with number 2, stretching.
Right here. There you go, Kathy.
They've got it.
Back where 1 was.
Grab it.
It's heavy.
4's right here. Should come right back. Right back.
Tocho's got number 3. There you go. Kathy's got number 3 for Beezy.
All right, guys. First 2 of you stay on this side of the boat.
Right back. I'm not.
Tocho figuring out a strategy, communicating really well. Beezy's got number 3.
Go Jill. Go follow Jill.
Back that way.
Tocho's got number 6. They're ready to place. It's in.
7. Me.
Watch out. Don't all do that.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. This one.
All right, 5 is
Tocho's got number 7.
Go.
Stretching, and he's got number 7.
No, the other one.
Guys, stay.
Yeah. Go.
Tocho back with number 8. Beezy's got 5.
By me, this way.
Tocho's got 9.
Wait,
Back here. Over here.
Tocho working really well together. Oh, that's a till. He's got number 10.
Good job, guys. Get it. Jill.
And then 11's here. So stay.
We'll bring you.
And only 2 left.
And then 12's back here.
Oh, that's going to be a problem.
Wait, get him down.
We're trying.
He's stretching, and he's got it. Number 11.
Nice job, Evan. Good job, Evan. Let him get out.
Good. We got time.
Tocho's got the last flag. Just got to place it.
All right, guys, steady.
You got it, Evan.
Yes.
Tocho, congratulations.
Seriously.
Yes.
Woo!
I mean, I gotta lay down.
Grab him. Easy. Name with me at Tribal Council.
Wait, it didn't really matter. We're all like, it took nothing to feed you. You know?
Well, I guess I've been kind of laying low as far as our tribe goes, to not really shine on anything special that I can do, but maybe in the last 2 days I can pick it up a little bit and be more intense on my physical ability. And I've also been trying to do strategy, so, you know.
So Laura and I started out together, and I was kind of keyed in on a plan that she had to get me out first, which was terrifying. I mean, I came all the way out here to play this game. I love it, and the worst thing could have been getting voted out first, because I threatened someone who also loves this game. I was not coming for Laura. She was coming for me. I still really am not going for Laura. Is that naive? Maybe. I don't know. But to me, she loves this game. I love this game. She's someone I can nerd out with on Survivor trivia and whatnot, which is always fun. But I think when we were picking the tribes, just so happened Jack and Jill get selected. When we were selecting, and Jack I knew was going to pick me, and when we were going to pick the next person, he said, what should we do? We didn't have a choice from the original 7 of Tatanka, and so we're looking around, and I look at Laura, and I said, you know what, again, I'm not going for her, and if picking her is a mistake, so be it. Maybe it puts me out, but I like Laura. I like competing against her. I think she's fun. That's a person that you would love to beat, and if she beat you, you'd be okay with it, because she's a good player too. So I told them, I said, let's play with her. Let's do it. So we picked her because I told them to, and I'm glad we did. I still don't think I'm gunning for her here. Again, I'm trying to, I don't want to say schmooze, that's not the right word. I'm just trying to get back in good graces. I do think I will talk to her eventually about having heard my name. Just to kind of say, hey, I was aware of this, but I don't want that to come between us, because I picked you for a reason. I can't express enough how much I want to play this game with competitive people, and I appreciate how competitive you are. If she doesn't receive that well, so be it. We have the numbers.
Game plan moving forward is probably a mistake on my behalf as a captain not to pick any old peasy. Although I can play it off if, like, to whomever makes it, I could say, because they have half of the other tribe. So if they are true to like a peasy strong bond that we had yesterday, then I could say I felt safe enough over here that I would let you guys control it over there, and then we can meet up if that seems to be the case. And then, but in general, I'd like to ride with like the 7 on the old tribe, because like especially the 5 we have here from former Tatanka, I think it's a good group, because we have Greg and Bryce, who I think like are perceived as threats, and then Des and Rachel, who are not, and that's kind of like my ideal combo, is that we get to 5 or 6, and then I can kind of pair up with them as possibly the weakest of the 3, although I do think I've been overplaying a little bit where I could be seen as a threat, so I want to tone that down. But it's like we're already kind of deep into the game a little bit, but there's only 16 people left, so I gotta get the right mentality for that.
Well, Peasy, not quite as dramatic as a setup here as last night, but we have to get the same order of business. I want to talk a little bit about that challenge. It was real clear with Tocho putting Evan on the swing. He had a great reach. You guys seem to go different route. Jack, obviously you've got a great reach. What was the strategy with putting Kathy on the swing?
We were just thinking the lighter person would be easier to maneuver. I think Kathy did a great job on there, but I guess it wasn't too hard to pull the thing, so the reach was what really made up the time that they got ahead. So.
Well, Evan's like a string bean, so
yeah.
He's like the perfect person for that challenge. Like Jack is a little more thick, so it's like I think it would be harder to maneuver him. So
yeah.
It was just one of the. I honestly
he was just
thought
like
it was
the perfect.
Yeah, he's like the perfect guy. He has a big reach. He weighs like 90 pounds, and so I think it was just one of those things where we already knew we were kind of going to be going against that, and I honestly thought that the bench was going to stretch too, so I didn't expect her to have to fall off every single time. It cost us a lot of time to do that.
So Rachel, 2 challenges since the last swap, 2 Tocho wins. Any concern that, hey, are we going to be able to keep up with these guys? Or are we going to keep coming back to Tribal Council?
Well, I have no concern that we can keep up with them. The problem is that we've got someone over there who knows each challenge inside and out, and we don't have that advantage. So,
who's that?
That'd be Jill.
And Evan too.
Evan too.
Jill and Evan. So they have the advantage now that she can explain exactly the mechanic of the challenge where we've never been.
Well, just to be clear, this is a brand new challenge, and almost all the challenges the rest of the way out are brand new.
Right.
They've done stuff similar in like the show's history.
Well, we've done all of these challenges are similar in the show's
There's
history.
just something when somebody's done them before, whether they've actually done the actual challenge, but being in this environment and like knowing how to strategize for these things, I think that makes a bigger difference. It doesn't have to be the exact challenge that she's competed in.
But just the fact that they
just
have
the fact that
experience
she,
in these kind of games.
yeah, it's like I think just the experience of being a veteran and I mean I think all of us on the old Blue Tribe would say that the main reason why we were winning was because we strategized well and it came from Jill and Evan, and so the fact that they're both over there hurts a lot. So,
Kathy, speaking of the old Blue Tribe, you look around, I see 5 of them here. How much of a factor is that going into these next couple of votes?
Oh, that makes me nervous, but I mean, I had some connections before and trying to make some new connections, so hopefully that will be enough.
Laura, same question. I mean, is that the only factor going on right now, or can you still make an appeal about your value to the tribe and challenges?
I mean, I can try, but I'm not confident it's working.
So Greg, they're basically saying, hey, I see a 5 block there. I don't know if I can get through it, but obviously all 5 of you can't make decisions. Who's controlling decision making for the 5 Tatanka, former Tatanka?
I don't know if there's one person making the decisions. I mean, we've had so many mix-ups between like the first initial tribes that we were on, and then we swapped, and then we swapped again. There's so many connections that we've made already that like you're discussing with so many people, ideas develop over time. Nothing really is coming from one set person as in this is the initiative we're going to go with. I think it all comes from discussion amongst the people here, so.
Yeah, of us 5, we've all come from different tribes. So we all have a different perspective on, you know, everything that's happening within this tribe and within the other one.
Jack, interesting thing, last night, your name showed up on the parchment. Adam chose not to play his idol. Had he played that, we could have been in a tie vote situation. Where would that have led? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, that would have been a spooky situation for me. Hopefully, I mean, it would have been awful for either me or Laura to go out on an idol play like that with 1 vote apiece. But I'm glad we managed to get Adam out with his idol and then have not to avoid that situation. And if he had played it, it would have been troubling. Yeah.
All right, with that, it's time to vote. Bryce, you're up.
stage of the game we just have to move to the merge, so.
Laura, this is not what I wanted to do, but I just have to go with what the majority wants. I know you're putting my name down. Hopefully they're not telling me a lie. I think you're awesome.
This is my 6th tribal council, I think. That's probably wrong, and I just can't think straight. I've never actually felt vulnerable until right now, and I'm 90% sure there's going to be 6 votes for me and this one for Kathy, and it breaks my heart to even put it, but the only other person they would possibly vote for is Kathy, so I have to try.
Speak first if I can, very candidly. Last night I said I wanted to cast vote for Laura, and I voted for Adam. And that's what happened. We got an idol out. It was great. I talked to Laura afterwards and tried to clear up this whole Jen situation with Jen telling me she was coming after me. I believe her that she wasn't. She told me she wasn't. I'm not voting Laura. Laura, I meant it when I said I want to keep you in this game.
I'll go tally the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave tribal council area immediately. If you have an immunity idol and you want to play it, now's the time. I'll read the votes. First vote, Laura. Kathy. Laura. Kathy. 2 votes Laura, 2 votes Kathy. Laura. Kathy. 3 votes Laura, 3 votes Kathy, 1 vote left. Laura, that's 4. That's enough. Need you to bring your torch. Laura, tribe has spoken.
Yes, it has.
Time for you to go.
The first person that came up to me was Greg, and he said, like, it's Kathy, or like, I'm fine voting Kathy or something, and it broke my heart to think about voting Kathy. So, like, my reaction to Greg was just, like, heartbreak, and I think Kathy, she just reacted better. I think she probably said, like, great, I'll vote Laura. So she was talking to people more, and I was just kind of flustered. The only thing I could think of was, like, I could potentially do better in challenges, but that feels so false because I'm the only person that's been on all of the losing tribes.
To start this challenge, you will all start at your station. What you're seeing is the finished shooting position for this wheelbarrow. This is how it's going to end up when you shoot at your targets later. But what you're going to do to start is assemble that into a rolling wheelbarrow. 2 of you are going to be designated shooters. Once that wheelbarrow is assembled, shooters stay behind at the white block. The other 4 members take the wheelbarrow out across the land bridge, along the shoreline of that pond on the far end, and this pond, you'll find piles of balls with your color. It's up to you to decide how many of them you want to bring back. You can see how many targets you have to shoot and knock down once you're back with the balls. Once you decide that you think you have enough balls, you come back. The 4 of you who brought the wheelbarrow, you take it back apart, assembled in a shooting position. Then the 4 of you who had the wheelbarrow leave. The 2 shooters are going to shoot. The other 4 who brought the wheelbarrows will be stationed behind the targets. Your job will be to fetch the stray balls. Once the shooters run out of all of their balls, the fetchers can bring that whole pile back, or as many as you want back. But only the balls you brought back are the balls in play. So you've got to decide how much time do you want to spend gathering versus how much time you might want to spend fetching. There's obviously a trade-off.
They bring it back, they assemble it. The shooters just shoot.
The most important thing is shooting, because that's going to be where, even if we're behind on the balls, shooting is going to be the most important.
Are you good with targets?
If we shot, who would be our wheelbarrow people?
I have time. Yeah, we need some strength.
You guys,
for
you 2, is that good?
Survivors ready. Go!
Guys, come on, communicate.
Yeah,
You got it.
take it out,
You got
flip
it.
it over.
You got
On
this,
its
guys.
side.
Communicate.
What's up, guys?
That's the wheel. You guys got this. Communicate.
How does this wheel go?
Both tribes trying to figure out how these wheelbarrows go together.
We're going to flip it upside down.
And this is.
What is it?
Yes.
Put it up tight, up high. Not up high, just up straight.
You aim it. You aim it.
Both tracks getting their wheels on.
This might not be the piece.
Do you see the pen?
Watch out, place their wheelbarrow. Together they got to fit it close.
Okay, we're good.
Tocho's got theirs. They're headed out with their wheelbarrow.
Yeah, you know how
Okay, it's in. Let's go put that on top.
this goes big on this. Yeah.
Easy's on the course with their wheelbarrow.
Okay, let's just push back this way.
Turn.
Yeah, it's easier the other way, you guys. Turn.
You think so?
Yeah. One, two,
Turn it around. We're gonna.
Let's get those
Just
last
the other
off.
way. Just go back.
Go backwards. Okay, guys, we're fine.
You turn around. You two turn around.
Do it backwards.
Turn around and get me in.
We out.
Good. Go. Put him in a pile.
Take something.
You guys got this. It's gonna be great.
Got the balls. Alright, I'll take it by myself. Sorry, I'm
Okay, guys, you put all the balls in one pile for us.
This flips over now.
You can pull him out. Pull that out. You gotta help him pull it out. You can help pull that out. You gotta jam it. Use another stick to pull it. Use another stick to jam it.
Wheel out.
First, center.
Got their cars apart. Now they have to put them back together in shooting position.
You're good. Yeah, center it for us, guys.
No. Williams towards.
Three.
Okay, what is that?
Go shag.
Dr. Jones, the first shot.
Just get a rhythm.
Real wrong.
Let's go, Bryce.
It's okay.
Definite learning curve, figuring out how this slingshot works.
Take your time. You're okay. Yeah, that's good. Oh, good. Good. Keep aiming for that one.
I'm like right in the middle there.
Right connect for a easy.
Now go right, a little bit right. So close. A little bit right is where you are.
We have two left after this.
We got 3 left.
And a pull,
Second one for a easy. Justin now trying to hit-hand him slingshot.
Yeah!
Justin got the first one for Tokyo.
That's right.
For easy.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Tocho struggling to find a rhythm with these.
Hey, last three.
Justin just misses.
Come on. Just we're not giving up.
Yes. Bryce, connect. Easy down to the last target.
Get him on the desk, on the desk. Let's go.
Get it.
Let's go. Bring him back. Hey, watch out, girls.
Right in the middle.
Right, no.
To the right. To the right. To the right. To the left. To the left. To the left. To the left. You got it. Right, you are high, so go up.
Oh, let's go. Yes. Oh my God. Good shit. Good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow.
Congratulations, easy. Good show at Dave with me at Tribal.
That was terrible. I'm sorry.
Stop.
Great job, you guys. That's awesome. Good job.
Good strategy.
Good job.
My number one goal is to get rid of the 3 boys from Blue, Jack, Bryce, and Greg. The people on board with that is everyone that is on my tribe right now. We are wary of Evan and Jill going into a merge. We're wary of them flipping. But the original tribe we started on, green, I want that to be an option. I have a new alliance that's from mixed original tribes, and I have the original green tribe. And I want to have both of those options ready.
I don't know, I just didn't have a good feeling, and I haven't really had anybody I'm super comfortable with, so I definitely feel out here on my own. And sometimes that works. Sometimes a solo player can go to the end, but I feel much more comfortable with my 2015 game where I had my people and we went to the end. It was just a lot easier. I don't know that things are looking great for Jill. It's a tough hand to be dealt, and I don't know. We'll see. You know, there's people playing really hard, and sometimes those games don't come to fruition at all. And then there's people playing like really, so like Hannah, somebody like that, who's just nice and nobody really would vote off. She may go to the end, absolutely. And then you vote for her because she's a really nice girl. And then you have someone who's playing really hard. Like I think Justin's playing really hard. Justin's probably calling the shots. I think Greg is playing really hard. And I think Evan is playing really hard. Some you can see and some you can't see.
From original Appeasy, Justin and I have a final 2, and he still thinks we're really tight, and I wouldn't mind going far with Justin. I think I can trust him. I think we'll be more on the same page with getting the threats that we want out. I've only known Katie and Hannah not very long, so I can't really get a read on them. I think Dion, Justin, and I think Maria, we'll really stick together. Evan seemed open to leaving Jill and possibly coming our way. But the girls, I have no idea. I feel like Jill's trying to pull them into her hand, but the other thing that scares us though is that there's 3 green on the tribe, 3 original green, and we don't know what their relationship is like. But we feel pretty confident at this point. Justin, me, and Courtney feel we were glad to see Courtney make it to this point so we could connect with her. Our thought right now, and everything is subject to change, would be 4 from the second Tojo tribe, which would include me, and then Courtney and Dion, which were the second Appeasy tribe, would join forces. And then again, I think Justin will have our pick. And I sound so confident right now, and that's probably going to bite me in the butt, but I think Justin and I could swing either way with those 2 pairs.
I think the goal right now is at least to just whatever Justin, Hannah, and I can kind of work with within our numbers and kind of spread from there. And if we have to kind of, and Maria is obviously going to work with us. So as long as we can keep her in, we'll have the numbers, I think, moving forward once we just get through this first vote.
With the swap, I am in a very good position on this tribe. I have an alliance with almost everybody on this tribe, from previous tribes into current tribes. Basically, my strategy has been to form strong alliances with people where they all feel like they can trust me. I'm their #1 ally. When I talk to everybody, I talk to them in a way to make them feel that what I'm saying to them is the absolute truth of where I'm going to go in this game and how I'm going to play it. And I give myself options, and then I go with the option that at the time will best suit me. And it has put me in a very good position right now, because in my current tribe, I have an alliance with Courtney and Maria from our original red. On the other side, I have Hannah, Katie, and I decided to form an alliance where it's 1 from each tribe. I'm from red, we have Katie from blue, and we have Hannah from green. So each of us will have an ear in our original tribes and then communicate together and use that as a unsuspecting alliance. So with that, I'm set up with all those girls. And then also on the way over here, even Jill thinks she's with me, but that's not gonna happen. Sorry, Jill, I love you, but everyone wants you out.
Well, Tocho, first trip tribal today. Jill, Evan, first trip to Tribal at all.
Thank you for having us.
You could come up and grab a torch and light your fire.
Good job, guys.
Congratulations. So Evan, on that theme, first trip to Tribal, obviously you never want to be here, but you go 2 full days basically without it. How does that position you? Does that hurt you that you've not been through this experience? Does that make you a target? What do you think?
That was insane. I never thought, I was worried that like, what if I fail in challenges and we do really bad and we go to everyone. But it was horrifying hearing the drums every like 10, whatever, however many times, every single time, just imagining what it was. But I think seeing it last night was definitely a lot, clear mind, a lot.
Jill, what's your feelings coming in this first Tribal where a vote's actually going to be cast and you're not just watching it happen?
It's never good. Tribal's never a good feeling, so I feel pretty rotten.
Courtney, what's the dynamic with this new tote show? You got to watch what happened last night. You got to sit out and not be here. There's a lot of different things going on. So how does this first vote start to shake out?
Well, we all have gotten along really well together. I feel like we've been communicating and really working well. And yeah, we've been pretty peaceful. Last night's Tribal was very eye-opening. So I feel like we're all really thinking about the merge and who we can trust and trying to learn as much about what's going on the other tribe as we can.
So Dion, how much emphasis is on winning challenges that still happen today while you're this tote show?
It's the most important thing right now, because that is how we stay unified and don't crumble under the pressure of tribal dynamics and having to think too far ahead. If we can keep this solid group moving forward, that's going to be our best option as a tribe.
So Justin, Dion mentioned solid group. Is this a solid group or are there already subgroups forming within it?
I think there is a solid group here, and I think that he hit it on the head. That group is definitely saying the same thing. We need to take out the yellow people. They're all having fun. They have a good dynamic. We communicate well together. So if we don't realize and approach it in that way, we will get picked off one by one.
Hannah, we've heard talk about merge. Are you worried that people are already looking across on the other tribe and saying, hey, look, they've got allies there from former relationships, former tribes. How much is that playing into what you're thinking right now?
So looking at the other tribe, we have seen a core 3 of the 3 guys over there, and we have been planning how we can take down that triple threat over there. So us as a majority coming against those 3, hopefully we could pull whoever's not in that core 3. We could let them know that that's a huge threat. We need to take them out.
Katie, what are your thoughts on how you stand with this group?
I feel really good. As many of the other tribe members said, we communicate really well together. And we know how to lift each other up when we're feeling down or we're cold and hungry. And we also know how to unite together in a challenge. And I think that all of that speaks a lot for making connections and helping us do really well long-term in the merge. And that's our goal.
Is that true, Maria? Is it still tribe strength right now, the primary criteria, or is it more about looking down the line to a possible merge?
I think you got to take both into consideration. I think right now we're focusing more on tribe strength and making sure we're unified, but we all have conversations about what it's going to look like in the future, so I think it's a mixture of both.
Okay, with that, it's time to vote. Justin, you're up.
This is the toughest vote of the game so far. I am going to try and lose this next immunity challenge on purpose to take out my next target. And if I do that, that's for you. Hopefully, it'll keep going my way.
sorry, Jill. I love playing this game with you, and I love that we work so well, and the challenges and our strategic minds paired so well. I feel like I had to backstab you to ensure that we get farther in the game, so I hope it was enough to keep me here for now.
If this is not the plan, then I'm confused and concerned.
You are the biggest social threat in this whole game. I don't know that this is going to be the majority vote. That's what people are telling me. But I'm going to stick to my word.
I'll go tally the votes. Votes are red, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. If you have an immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time. I'll read the votes. First vote, Dr. Jill. Dr. Jill. Dr. Jill. 3 votes, Dr. Jill. Evan. Jill. 4 votes, Jill. 1 vote, Evan. Jill, that's 5. That's enough. Need to bring me your torch. Jill, tribe is spoken. Time for you to go.
Love you, Jill. I'll take it. It would be hard, I think, to be the only survivor. It just automatically puts a target on you, you know. I don't know how much of that had to do with it. Plus, having played in Maine and have them access to your blog, and you know my deviousness there probably came back to haunt me. So, and it was a good thing. They were right to vote me out. I would have gone right back to green, and I would have made something happen. So I can't fault them for it.